YouTube, what's going on? It's Gandy here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video I'm coming on here with a video where we're going to be talking about Antonio Gandy Golden calling it quits and also the Washington Commanders training camp day 2. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure to go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me on my social media links down below in the description, and cop some Gandy Talking Sports merch. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Louis. I'm about to fuck this joint up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Damn. When I hop in the booth, they fuck with my sound. Put that shit on the scale, we taxin' pound for pound. Nigga keep dissing, put him in the ground. My shit in your ear and tell me how it sound. A nigga too smart can catch me out of bounds. Let's go. That bitch got cooked like some chicken. And he lying, he not rapping what he living. Yeah, that's my cousin, but this shit a business. Work that bitch out just like we doing fitness.
So, Antonio Gandy Golden, wide receiver / tight end, he made the transition to tight end this past year, has shocked us all as he has announced that he will be retiring from the NFL. And when I saw this, I was super surprised because I did not expect this. You know, he's 24 years old. Obviously, he was on the outside looking in at making this roster, but you definitely are surprised when you see these young guys retire. Like Chris Carson the other day, he retired. I mean, obviously he had an injury issue, but still, you hate to see these young guys retire. But it happens, you know. I'm not mad at Antonio Gandy Golden for his decision at all. He's human just like us, and these guys have other passions outside of football, you know. And when Ron Rivera stepped to the podium today, when he was asked about it, they asked him, was this something that he was talking about, that he was considering, or was this just out of the blue? And Ron Rivera just said this was out of the blue. Like, they weren't talking about this. He didn't give us no motion or no sense that he was thinking about retirement. He just woke up today and was just like, I want to call it quits. I don't want to do this anymore, and that's totally fine. You know, when you lose the passion for something, which Ron Rivera said he believed that's what it was, you don't want to do it no more, and you don't want to do anything in your life that's not going to make you happy. You know what I'm saying? You always want to do something that's going to make you happy, and very well could have been that Antonio Gandy Golden just wasn't happy playing football anymore. And again, that's totally fine. Like, what we fail to realize as fans sometimes is that these guys are just human like us. Like, yeah, they make the millions of dollars. They're on TV every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. But these guys are regular humans just like us. Some of these guys, when it's not even football time, they're not even thinking about football. And as for Antonio Gandy Golden, he wants to go back to school and continue his education, and that's perfectly fine. Like I said, the passion for him just may have not been there anymore, and that's totally fine. So I wish Antonio Gandy Golden the best of luck, whatever he does in the next stage of his life, and go get that education, my man. So let's get into the training camp recap for today. Alrighty, so to kick off the notes from today's training camp practice, Zach Selsby says Jeremy Reeves with a nice broke up pass intended for Kelvin Harmon, and the person that threw the ball was Sam Howell. And shout out to Jeremy Reeves for making the play. This is a guy that's been on the roster for a while, but really never got his chance to show what he can do as a safety. And I always get intrigued by Jeremy Reeves just because of what he did for that short period of time, stepping in for the injured DeShazer Everett in 2020. He was playing really well. We know how physical he is. We know that he can cover. The guy's really good, and it's some solid depth, and I would like to see him get his chance. But for all us fellas, we know he's going to be a special teams demon. So shout out to my man Jeremy Reeves for making a play. So next tweet says, first interception of training camp, Wentz hits Dayami in the chest, but Kendall Fuller popped it loose with Cole Holcomb getting the pick. So I don't know if Dayami just, you know, dropped it, or if the ball was too fast for him, had too much zip on it, too much mustard on it. I don't know what happened, but great play by the defense, as we're going to realize here shortly that the defense had a dominant day and the offense struggled, which is typical for the start of training camp because we know the defense is going to always be ahead of the offense. Shout out to my man Cole Holcomb for getting the interception. We know he's going to be in for a big year because my man deserves, and he's going to be wanting to get that second contract. Moving on, the defense has been all over the offense so far. After Holcomb's pick, Jamie Davis nearly had one himself, and Christian Holmes had a PBU. So there we go, man. Jamie Davis for 19th overall pick from this past draft, or the last year's draft, I should say. A lot of people is highly critical of him. A lot of people are already throwing around the B word on Jamie Davis. So it's good to see him flying around making plays. Christian Holmes, 7th round rookie, a guy that could possibly be a slot guy for us, making plays too. Another guy that I'm intrigued about. So I'm excited to see that those two guys are making plays. Next tweet says Dax Milne has been pretty reliable so far. Had a few grabs yesterday and already has 2 today. I don't know about you guys. Like I said, Milne and Alex Erickson are going to be those guys fighting for those last 2 wide receiver spots. And a lot of people have Alex Erickson as the leader to get that last spot just because of what he can do as a kick return man. I don't know what he can do as a receiver. I know Dax Milne can go out there and play some receiver. I don't know how good Dax Milne is as a returner, but all I know is that he can play really good as a slot receiver, and I know he can at least catch the ball as a punt return / kick returner. And for me, honestly, that's all I want. Because again, how often are you going to get a kick return in this day and age of returning punts / kickoffs? Not really often. So I just need a guy that's going to be able to catch the punts and kickoffs and give me the ball at the 20 or 25 and let my offense go to work. And I believe that guy could be Dax Milne just for the simple fact that he can do that, and he can also provide so much in the wide receiver room. Next tweet says Fuller provides solid coverage on De'Ami Brown again and forces the incomplete pass. Chris Harris is noticeably amped about his defense, about the way his defense is playing. As we know, Chris Harris is the guy that's always hyped up, always amped, always yelling, always excited. Shout out to my man Chris Harris, one of the best positional coaches that we have on this team. Chris Paul just got beat pretty easily by Shaka Toney, who has had a clear path to how. Shout out to Shaka Toney. He's going to be a guy that we may lean on heavily to start the season due to Chase Young being injured. So shout out to my man Shaka Toney. He's the guy that I have some expectation for just based off of his athletic ability. Fuller has been one of a clear standout today. He just blew up another play, this time to Curtis Samuel, and I'm happy for Kendall Fuller, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Kendall Fuller to me seemed like he was losing a step. Like obviously we know mentally he still is there, but it just felt like he was losing the step due to getting up there in age. You know what I'm saying? But it's good to see him having a really good training camp so far. We're going to need a lot of Kendall Fuller this year. And he just broke up a pass intended for Curtis Samuel. So shout out to my man Kendall Fuller making plays. And the defense is dominating, as I told you guys they were going to today. Montez Sweat is jawing loudly at the offense after beating the tight end Amani Rodgers, who was supposed to block him. And Montez Sweat says this, and I quote, "Don't put no tight end on me." So you know Montez Sweat love talking trash. You know that's what he do, and I love it. And, you know I'm all for it. And I know if Chase Young was out there while I'm playing, he would have been doing the same thing. So I'm excited. I love the back and forth. I love the competitiveness between this team, because that's only going to sharpen each other and make each other ready for the season. So I'm excited for it, man, and I like Montez Sweat talking that trash. Next tweet says Curtis Samuel just put a really sick move on Benjamin St. Juste before sprinting upfield. I heard about that watching the press conferences with Terry McLaurin. They said he looks like old Curtis Samuel. It gave him Ohio State vibes, and I'm excited, man. You know, a lot of people already gave up on Curtis Samuel due to the injury season that he had last year, but my man is back. He looks healthy. He looks ready to go, and I couldn't be more excited for Curtis Samuel. Next tweet says Christian Holmes has put together a really good day. Just had another PBU. Shout out to Christian Holmes. Wentz just laid one out for Jahan Dawson off his back foot. Dawson made the catch over his shoulder near the sideline. So back-to-back days where Carson Wentz is connected with his top 2 targets, that being Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dawson. And I love the connection that they're building here, man. It's going to be a really fun offense to watch if these guys could actually get a rapport going and actually live up to the expectation that we're putting on this team. Next tweet says, Wentz airs it out again to Terry McLaurin this time, but it falls incomplete. Troy Apke was covering. So Troy Apke is making some good coverage. I like to see it. Montez Sweat has been in the backfield a lot today. Another guy that's been having a really, really good day. But again, the defense has been having a really good day overall. And now, I believe that was the last tweet, or Ron Rivera just had a lengthy chat with his players after practice, and I believe that is the last tweet. Well, I guess the final one would be Ron Rivera says that Antonio Gandy Golden is retiring, and he will be going to focus on his education in school. So, very eventful day 2. You know what I'm saying? The defense really dominating. Antonio Gandy Golden shocking us by retiring. Let me know how you guys feel about this video in the comment section down below. As always, being boy Gandy, like, comment, subscribe, help to the Washington Commanders. Wonder with the 5,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me on my social media links down below in the description: Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And cops on Gandy Talking Sports merch. I'll see you guys for tomorrow's day 3 training camp recap. I'm out. Peace. Cost me one time, that's gonna get you popped. Get you popped.